Today's video is brought to you thanks to MagTech Ammunition, the official ammunition supplier for all range activities of active self-protection.
I see 500,000 people. She works in a 511 store, and she's saying that she have a problem selling product because of the perception of people who wear 511. So people, they might think it's great clothes, but they don't want it because of me and Tiff go out of our way not to look that way in our classes. I'm already a little rough looking dude in the face, so I don't need to be walking around in the whole 511 thing too, all right? And we do that deliberately. Right, to the point where who here has heard of Maj Toure? Maj Toure is a black guy, dreads, he's going around basically representing the hood in Second Amendment discussions, all right? We met him, we dealt with him, and the first thing he said, we was clowning, we laughing and joking, you got those pants on. So I try to give Vertex so that I don't have the pants, they don't look quite as tactical. Because but it occurred to me that he picked up on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, you got those pants on. Those pants, you know what those pants say to Maj Toure? Cop. Cop. Now, if I'm talking to cops, no problem. If I'm talking to other people, before I was a police officer, I was locked up twice. One of the guys who locked me up was in the police academy with me. He was a housing cop when he locked me up. Both of them were thrown out because they was trash. What I'm saying is that some people have bad experiences, or they associate bad experiences with that. I got to take that into consideration because does the Second Amendment apply to them? As long as they don't have a felony, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, Second Amendment still applies. I still want these people to be able to protect themselves.
So I'm gonna, and I know I gotta keep going, but this is a perfect segue. Here's something that I suggest to you all. If you're interested in bringing more people into the fold, under the tent, into the Second Amendment community, doesn't mean they gotta carry 8 guns, just means we want more people to understand that why someone like us might want to carry a gun. Here's something you should do. Never let on that you're carrying a gun. Get to know somebody first. Get to be friends with somebody. His dad had plenty of people that he worked with for years. And then they were already friends. They were no longer the other. They were no longer them. And then one day, just sheer coincidence, not important, not consequential, just happened to come up in conversation. Oh, you like guns? Actually, I've had a gun on every time you've seen me in the last 20 years. Really? In that moment, you have destroyed the otherness. And that, my friends, is a win. That is a win. That person's gonna go tell their family, they're gonna tell their friends, they're gonna lay in the bed at night and think about it. Damn, I thought gun people were blah, blah, blah. And here this person I've been hanging out with all this time. It's like when you find out your neighbor's gay. You hate gay people, but you've been hanging out with your neighbor all this time, and then it's like, oh, well, he all right.
They cool. They good people.
That's Otis McDonald.
Because of this guy, you can now start trying to carry a gun in Chicago.
Does everybody know who Otis McDonald is? Remember, we took the oath. We will not judge you if you don't know who Otis McDonald is. McDonald versus City of Chicago. It is only the largest pro-Second Amendment Supreme Court decision since Heller. It extends Heller to the states. If you haven't read, by the way, we all like to spout Heather. If you haven't, Heller, if you haven't read Heller from head to toe, start to finish, opinion, concurrences, dissents, all of it, please do. And same thing with McDonald, okay? But Otis McDonald was the named plaintiff in that case. Most gun people don't know that he's black, let alone anti-gun people, gun agnostic people. They have no idea that gun rights have been championed by a black man who looks like that. Oh, he doesn't look like that.
Looks like that.
Who looks like that? And also by a black woman who looks like that. Go ahead, Octa, you my bad.
You tell them about Ron Diesel, you know better.
All right, well, you just gave away the answer. This is supposed to be a pop quiz.
I'm sorry. Anybody know who that is? All right, they knew who she was.
Ron Diesel, what case is she the plaintiff in? Funny how all these cases come out of Chicago. She is the plaintiff in Ezel versus Chicago, City of Chicago, 7th Circuit, another decision that you should definitely read. It actually went up twice, okay, to the 7th Circuit. She now is the head of, oh gosh, what's her organization called? Chicago Guns Matter. I think it's called Chicago Guns Matter, where she preaches pro-gun sort of self-sufficiency, like take care of yourself in the inner city of Chicago. Okay, she's a gun owner. She is an instructor. We're trying to get her to come down and teach our instructor class. I mean, take our instructor class. But that's Rhonda Ezel. Yes.
What was the decision in that case?
Chicago said you can't get a permit unless you take training, but there was nowhere to take training in the city, so it was an effective ban, even though on paper it wasn't a ban. And 7th Circuit said, nah, y'all being slick. Okay, just like Hellerstedt. So. If you have, for example, a gun celebration area, you've got photos somewhere, you got all your match plaques somewhere. If you've got an indoor range and you have a wall with a bunch of photos on it, and if you got Justice Scalia up on your wall, you need to have a picture of Rhonda Ezel on your freaking wall. You need to have Otis McDonald on your wall. If you sell parts, you have a vendor shop, you need to have Otis McDonald's picture on your wall. Why? Because when black people come in your store, and let's just be real, when black people come in your store, they're going, I'm talking in generalities here. Obviously, there are exceptions, okay? Not all black people, all right? But when they come in your store, they are under the preconception, rightly or wrongly, and whether it's right or wrong doesn't matter. People get caught up in it, but I'm not doesn't matter. Perception is reality. They will oftentimes come in there with the preconception that they don't belong, this isn't for me, I gotta look around, everybody's staring at me, I'm not supposed to be in here, maybe I should leave, it's not my thing. If they walk in and see that on the wall, then they may think differently. Maybe not, but they might. On a great day, they'll actually ask you, who is that? Now what has happened? 60%.
Me and Tiff did civilian carry radio. It was the first community one that Baraka did, and she had her homegirl on it. And what did her homegirl say about when she goes to websites, and she's Caucasian.
Yeah.
She goes to websites, she wants to see different kinds of people on the website. That makes her comfortable. That's why she would go there and train. There's millions of people out there like
question.
that.
Who's that? Yeah, we can give her a hand. Give her a hand. So again, if you want to show people what the Second Amendment looks like, I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot of creativity. This is how we replace misperception with actual facts, okay? This is how we break down harmful stereotypes that are endangering the Second Amendment. People assume there are no Annette Evanses in the Second Amendment community. They assume there's nobody named Akil Kadir in the Second Amendment community. We have to dispel those myths. We have to. And you can't do that with a picture of Scalia on your wall. By the way, if you haven't bought Annette's book, you are wrong. Started shooting in her 50s, won a bunch of championships, and retired in her 60s. And I learned about Vera Koo from talking to Annette. I had never heard of Vera Koo. So in a minute, well, we actually run short on time, but if we get to it, number 7 is about getting outside of your comfort zone. I can talk to you about black people all day long. I didn't know Vera Koo, didn't know her. So thank you, Annette. Please be relatable. Take off the uniform. Just be you and show people that gun people are not other. Gun people are not different. Gun people are just like any other person. Next up, any other comments on that before we go on? All right, this is the one where I usually start crying. I'll try to be honest. I'll try to keep it together. Be honest. It's one of the rules that I think, that we both think is the most important of all, okay? Too often, we are caught up in kind of whitewashing our own history. And that's true on all sides of any debate.
Yes.
It is to your advantage to focus on the rosy, convenient facts of your struggle and not the mistakes that you or your community has made. And we've all made them.
Yes.
We all have.
Yes.
Okay? So if you are not honest with your audience, usually they will smell the BS a mile away. And as soon as they convince themselves that you are lying to them or hiding part of the truth, they have zero motivation to listen to or believe or hear anything else you have to tell them. And this is critical. We lose audiences with dishonesty or incomplete truth. Okay? Truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. All right? We leave stuff out. Here's what it looks like. This is one of my favorites. How many of you, I ain't gonna put y'all on the spot like that. Think to yourself silently, I won't make you admit it, if you've ever in conversation either said or thought, I am colorblind. I don't see race. I hear it all the time, and I'm gonna tell you the truth, it drives me insane. Drives me in freaking sane. Because unless you're that guy, you know damn well I'm black. You know it. So don't tell me you didn't even notice I was black. What you mean is you don't care that I'm black because you're not a racist. And that's good. But don't tell me you didn't notice, because what that means is you didn't notice me. Blackness is part of who I am. So if you look past it, you are erasing a whole section of my humanity. And I don't appreciate it, and therefore I'm no longer interested in whatever else the hell you thought you were going to convince me of. And now we've both lost an opportunity to learn. Just because you were too uncomfortable with saying, I'm black. Ain't you all?
I am quite black.